Evening guys. Right, I'm going to do an oil filter change, air filter change on the ZZR, and have cheapy oil filter because they change the damn thing every couple of weeks really. So it does need to be a good one, but that's just me. Going to try a different oil. I'm going to try this Trade Tech. Again, it's a cheapy oil, but it'll be made by one of the big manufacturers. We'll give it a shot. And to be honest, if my oil and filter stays on for more than 500 miles, maybe 750 miles, I should be very surprised. I'll apologise for the throat now. There's not going to be too much talking going through this. I might make some comments, otherwise the rest of it I should put up in captions on the screen. And we've got a K&N air filter. This one I do believe needs to be a lot better quality than your standard. It will help the bike breathe better, you get better performance. More expensive than buying these cheap paper cartridge ones, but you can reuse it. Give it a good clean out, re-oil it, stick it back in, use it forever and ever. I've not had one in this bike before. It had just been serviced when I got it, and when I changed it last time I couldn't get hold of a K&N, so it got another Kawasaki one in there. Now it's going to K&N, that'll be done. So the bike is all nicely warmed up now. And before I start, I'll just quickly explain what we need to do. We need to remove this cowling here. The air filter is under there. So remove that one one on the other side. Take that off. Quick change. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this down here. I might have to edit this bit out, but do it that way. Be a bit easier. There's a drain plug. That's the filter there. Now you'll see people using all kinds of tactics to try and get them out, and to be honest, some of them can get pretty messy, and I'll tell you about those in a second, and I'll give you a couple of tips on how to get it off. But your best bet, always do it when it's warm. Hopefully the tray will be big enough to catch that. Nice little tip from Del Boy's Garage, use a cat litter tray. So, when it comes to taking the oil filter off, you've got many options. I normally put mine on by hand, and I'm pretty sure, let's see if I can, should. Nope, not quite. So if all else fails, we have one of these and a filter socket. There we go. They never need to be very tight. If you do them too tight, you will end up buggering up the seal. Keep your litter back, or keep your tray back. Now, most Japanese bikes, the oil filters are fitted here, and they're all pretty much the same sort of filter. You do get the odd exception, but the trick now is to try and drop this in there without actually dropping it, if that makes sense. Place it in there, that's the word we want. We want to place it in there without making too much of a mess. Like that. And we give that a little bit of time just to finish running. I did put the sump plug back in temporarily just to stop me from getting all the oil all over my arms as well. So you'll see how much more that's collected in there. The good thing is it's bloody freezing outside, but it's quite nice and warm. Not that I'm recommending you bath in it or anything, depending on what sort of fetishes you all have out there. And that's actually quite amazing, because that had almost stopped running when I put the Put the top back in. So we'll leave those to continue to drip and drain while we do the air filter. And by the time we finish doing the air filter, that should have finished. Then we can give it a quick wipe up and install the new one. Okay, so here's the new filter, and I'll just give you a couple of tips while that's still draining on removing it when they get stuck. Generally, if you try a rubber glove, and just because they only should ever be on hand tight anyway, a rubber glove or a latex glove gives you more grip when you're trying to spin it. I have seen people driving screwdrivers in through the side and out the other side. It works some of the time, but not all the time. What it will do all the time is make one hell of a bloody mess. If you're going to use a screwdriver on it, what I suggest you do is you put the screwdriver right on the lip and you just very gently tap. As the screwdriver goes round, so will your filter. As you can see, this one is magnetised, which is making my little word will come in a minute. How effective that it actually is when you do that. So you get a little thing there, but never drive your screwdriver right through the side because you're just going to shite everywhere. And then when you've got your new one, before you put it on, reseal all around there with some clean oil, and when you're tightening it up, if there's no oil on there, this O-ring will pull and pucker as it nips into place, so then you'll end up with gaps. With sealing it with some oil, it will help it slide into place firmly without causing a problem. So this is where the air filter hides on this, and under this little flap. We take those two out, and she hides in there. So with the cover removed, you can see the air filter, and I'm going to try and keep you up the right way for this. Something about it comes out now. It should just pull out. I might need to persuade it to start. Oh no, here we go. And there you go. That's the old one. So it's pretty shitty. I've seen a lot worse, but it is pretty shitty. So that one is now foobarred, big time. So you can see how good the quality of these filters are. They're really good. They've got a really good reputation, and they come with their own tube of sealing grease.
Hey sweetie, you got a text message in here.
Hey, somebody loves me. And you give it a quick splodge. Come on. We'll stick some sealing grease on. There we go. I'm not 100% sure how this grease actually differs from most other types. I don't know whether it's just a little bit thicker or a little bit more sticky, what it is, but it aids the insertion, shall we say. Yeah, we've got a nice bead all the way along, and that causes a seal as well. Just takes you over. Now I'm going to have to put you down because I can't hold the flap up, hold the camera and slide it. So air filter's back in place now. It sits in there lovely. Put the plate back on, reapply the trim, and then that just leaves the oil filter to go on and top up with oil. Okay, so you can see the screws are in, the panel's back on. I haven't bothered to torque them. Experience has given me a pretty good idea of how tight they should be. If you're new to working with nuts and bolts and torque settings and that, refer to your manual. Everything on your bike that has a nut or a bolt or a filter, anything like that, will all have a torque setting in it somewhere. So you'll be able to find out exactly what it should be. I'm going to put all the plastics back on here and I'll come back to you when I've done that. When you're reassembling the plastics and you've got these push nipples that hold plastics into place, into the rubber grommets, like there, always lube them up. Makes for a much easier fitting, much easier disassembly. And never bang them. They've got a nasty habit of shearing off just across there, or they'll shatter across there, and then your panels will be flapping around like a prick in a bucket. Right, so that's it, it's all finished. I didn't manage to get it finished last night. I got called away. By the time I finished doing something else, it was too late to finish. So air filter's done, in, dusted, you've seen all that. Oil filter's done, oil's back in, plastics are back on. It's a little bit late at night now for me to be just letting it sit here warming up. But before I ride it, and what I suggest you do before you ride yours, is fire it up, let the engine warm up, and then take another oil reading. If you've changed the oil filter, it will obviously take more oil out. So if you've got a good reading, fire it up, it'll fill your filter, your reading will drop. So always check that first. Now that's it, done. With your old oil, you've got to be really careful where you dispose of it. It would be lovely if you could just have an oil drain somewhere that you can put down, but you can't. Dispose of it properly, think of the environment, and then most of the tips will take it away, or let you dump it there. Mine normally gets mixed with a bit of diesel and some creosote and goes on the fence. Take care guys, bye.